and welcome once again to another episode of Bill Has Opinions. Or, as they might say on Star Trek, Bill with his opinions spoken. I am Laura Lavoie, and of course I am joined by Bill Perkins, as always, who has opinions. How are you doing, Bill?
I'm doing okay. As we were just briefly talking amongst ourselves, I had a rough drive home. So that was, aside from that and the onset of seasonal allergies, I'm pretty good. Those are the two things that are bugging me today. But,
Yeah, we are full, at least in Atlanta where I am at the moment, we are full swing pollen. Like it's that thick, it just snowed.
I washed the car on Friday, did not look at it for a minute, and it was back by Saturday morning, pointless, really.
Exactly.
So, anyhow.
It'll only last so long, and hopefully we'll get like a nice rain.
Yeah, maybe some rain will come knock it out. Although it needs to rain really good because last week, it rained one day last week, and it rained just enough to make like big clumps of yellow in the corners of the parking lot, but not enough to like get it out of the park, So I was like, well, that's disgusting.
Yeah, but that is one of the seasons in the South. So luckily it's a very short season.
Yeah.
Like, pollen season just lasts. Boop.
Yeah, it's a couple weeks here at the onset of warm weather, and then it'll kind of dial back after, I guess probably about by mid-April we won't have to deal with it so much.
Right.
But,
and I suppose ultimately I'm glad for it because now it's spring.
Yeah, it means that something changed. So there's that at least. But like I said, the allergies part is bugging me right now. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why we drink.
I started to take the Flonase this morning, but I had a brand new package. And I didn't have scissors in the bathroom to cut through the clamshell.
No.
So I just I'll just tack it today, and I'll make sure I get it open for tomorrow.
That's actually really funny. But well, good luck to you on that.
Yeah.
So speaking of drinking, what do you have to drink?
I have got a Brevard Red Ale right now, and that's probably all I'm going to drink tonight because I don't have any bar service. No one's going to replenish my drink, so this is going to be the driest show I've done, but thankfully I have a lot to say about memes either way, whether or not I'm that libated, so, Yeah.
Fair enough. You could pour yourself a pitcher, bring it out with you.
I should maybe start asking for that. Yeah, I should just do that. I said, give me a pitcher of beer. Yeah. I haven't asked that. Yeah, I should see about that. Thank you. Thank you for the advice.
Here's thinking on my part. I'm relatively smart.
You told me that yesterday.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. I'm finishing off my pre-show beer as we do, which is a Walker Station Stout. I think I've had it before on the show. But I have some other tasty, tasty beverages here. I have coming up a Pog Basement. So Pog is Scofflaw Brewing. Mm-hmm. Basement is their flagship IPA, but Pog, of course, is passion fruit, orange, and guava. So it's like a super tropical basement IPA.
I'm on the fence because passion fruit orange sounded good, and then you said guava, and I'm like, nah, it sounds too sweet. Yeah.
You can barely taste it. Like it's still really hoppy.
All right.
And then I've got the Bell's Lighthearted, which is their low calorie beer.
Okay.
I also really like this style. Like more cans designed like this, please.
Because it looks like a 70s car.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like a Toyota Celica special edition or something. Like the Celica Sun Chaser or something like that, right? Like, which was the one with the target top, and then it had like the orange stripes on it or whatever.
Yeah, I am a sucker for those things. Like, give me the most 70s car you can get. Like, especially if it's in like shades of brown.
Yeah. You want a sparkly brown car with orange and yellow stripes, right?
I do.
An AMC Eagle 4-wheel drive station wagon with that's in brown with orange stripes would be like.
Yes, please. Like, yeah, I didn't realize that I had. When we had the car episode, I said, "Oh, my dream car is not that exciting." No, now I've changed my mind.
You want a really 70s car.
Or imagine this: if you took a Honda Element and you painted it with that color scheme.
Okay, you made a very 70s Honda Element.
Yeah.
Okay. See? I'll have to get a friend to Photoshop it. I can't really.
It would look like an old school station wagon, but it would be a perfect box.
Yeah.
Instead of an actual station wagon. So, But you alluded to the episode concept a moment ago that we are discussing memes today.
Sure, yeah.
Tell us what you think about memes.
So I think they're about, oh my God, I have been quoted as saying to people, memes is life. They're one of the things where when you're having a really bad day sometimes, I don't know, memes like get me through it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're up there with drinking and things that get me through it, Because memes are a way we all, that's when I know other people are on the same page with me, is when I see the memes that are floating around. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, good. Like there's a collective consciousness that has the same feelings I have about whatever this event is. And it's funny as shit the way we're all dealing with it.
Right.
So what I like about memes is they're a visual way to have a conversation, so to speak, right? Like for us all to say something without really saying it, kind of. And it's funny because I in recent weeks I have had pointed out to me, I guess, that the episode of Star Trek, The Next Generation, called Darmok,
right,
about this culture that only speaks in metaphors, was kind of almost sort of prescient about the use of memes in a way.
It was indeed. And so I will put up the first of many, many slides because figured this was a very visual episode. So I made a lot of slides.
Yeah. So this was, if you're not a Trekkie or Trekker, if you want to call yourself, I still go with Trekkie. I'm sorry. I refuse to say Trekker. That sounds dumb. I'm a Trekkie. That's it.
I'm a fan of Star Trek.
A Star Trek aficionado, if you will.
If you will. And I do. I will. I do will.
Fire at will.
Like they do on Star Trek.
Yeah, they always say that, but Will is always unscathed on the deck,
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway.
Wait. Was that? Hold on. Did we? I guess we didn't really get sidetracked, but I just want to.
We'll have to do an entire episode about Star Trek at this point sometime, right?
Yes, I'm going to write that down, as a matter of fact.
All right, very good. Yeah, we might as well. I don't know. I actually joined. Oh, so to tie it back to memes, though, to veer the car back onto the highway, I actually recently joined a Star Trek memes forum on Facebook.
Nice.
And it has been most entertaining and just wholesome fun, really. So yep. I really do love it. It's the best of both of these things mixed together.
Absolutely. And, speaking of memes, I belong to a couple of memes groups, and one is for my favorite TV show, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And it is, like, again, you're right. It's like wholesome fun. It's just, people are making graphics out of this show with funny quips. And it's hilarious.
You're right. But, I just love this about the memes. Like, so sometimes, like recently, I remember I was asking somebody in text one day. This was it's been a month or two, but I remember this conversation. I asked somebody what they were doing, and they told me, oh, I'm over here doing this thing. And I was like, oh, how long are you going to be there? And then it was, like the ... dots when you're waiting for a text return. And this went on for like 10 minutes. Like there was no reply. So finally I sent him the picture of Frodo Baggins where he goes, all right, then keep your secrets. because that's just how I like to communicate sometimes. It's just like, all right, I wasn't really mad or whatever. I was just like, okay, you've just, I was sitting here waiting to see if there was going to be a reply, and there wasn't. So
and you thought there was going to be a reply because the ... indicated there would be a reply.
It sort of, it kept teasing me that maybe I was going to get an answer, and then time went on, and I was like, I don't know whether to sit still and wait for a reply or just to go on with my life,
Right, exactly.
So,
yeah, no, that's exactly right. So we've got a lot of. Before we get into all into the weeds of memes, I know there's some other high level stuff. So, what kind of overarching? Other than, it's visual communication, what kind of overarching kind of meme wisdom do you have for us?
Well, I just want to, I guess, history of meme, they actually precede the internet, right? Kilroy was here was a meme.
Hey, I've got that in front. So to give people some context, a meme was, the concept was created by Richard Dawkins, who was an evolutionary biologist. And it's way beyond social media. So it's basically, it captures the concept of cultural transmission of ideas. So customs and ideas spread from brain to brain, but it's not genetic. So we start just doing this. And I actually pulled up a couple of early memes.
Sure, yeah.
Nobody knows where these came from. We just all know that they exist.
Right, yeah. Clapton is God would probably also be a good example of an older one.
Mm-hmm.
I would say hand jobs in a way are a type of meme, maybe even.
Yes, the playground hand, CCO playmate. Those things are absolutely memes. Folklore were memes. Folklore was a way that we passed ideas on non-genetically. So,
and that harkens back to Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra, because in response to that, Captain Picard told the captain of the other species, he told him the story of I can't remember the guy's name now.
I can't remember this.
Nebuchadnezzar?
Maybe? Yes. I love the name Nebuchadnezzar. Yes, I've been drinking.
I think the Babylonian tale, or was that something else?
It is Babylonian, and I'm waiting for the comments to.
Oh, Gilgamesh! It was
Gilgamesh. Yes, Gilgamesh. And
I remember it's funny because every time Picard would say Gilgamesh, the guy would go Gilgamesh, it was a funny sound to him to say that, And so sometimes
it is
kind of a funny sounding name. And actually, once in a while, if somebody ever brings up Gilgamesh, I'll kind of, at it because to make reference to that particular Star Trek episode that was actually, I would put that in the top 10 of best Next Generation episodes, I will say.
Well, and if nothing else, even if it isn't, whether it's better or worse than any others is certainly subjective, but it is one of the most memorable because, we recognized ourselves in it. It's precisely what our language is evolving. And for us, it's not just metaphors. Our language is evolving into literal, physical, pictorial, which is a topic I want to get to, but we're going to get to that later. But because memes is an evolution of language, and it always has been. And now it's kind of, it's with the internet, it's sort of sped up.
Yeah.
But so an interesting example of a very early meme this is good stuff, folks, is dick drawings. Drawing dicks on the wall has been done since at least ancient Roman times, although there are also dicks on the wall of cave paintings.
Biggest dick is.
I laugh, but that's literally the joke.
Yes.
That's actually the joke, is to keep saying it and then the person keeps laughing.
Right.
But But so yeah, I mean, they found dicks on the wall in Pompeii, and
Right.
some of them may have actually been like for a purpose, right? But not all of them. Like clearly, our culture just likes, like human culture likes to draw dicks on the wall.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's places where like there are temples that have like dicks outside the like bas relief of dicks all over the place or something. Like I can't remember, somewhere in Cambodia or something. I think there's a temple or something that's got people fornicating all over the outside of it. Which is people are just generally into that kind of thing.
Right. Well, no, we were walking around downtown Decatur this weekend, and somewhere some fairly recently poured concrete, and what was etched into the recently poured concrete? It would have been a dick. Like, yeah. So I'm like, yeah. So you see recently poured concrete, or you have a Sharpie and a blank wall. What are you going to draw? You're going to draw a dick.
It's the most recognizable thing one can put.
It's literally part of our mental evolution. It is the definition, the original meme. Yeah. It's butts. Yes.
Yes.
They're
like that. Yeah.
All right. So we should probably take a moment because we've got a lot of slides to go through.
Okay. Yes. Take a moment.
And I don't really have any order to them, so we'll have to figure that out as we go. But in the meantime, let's do a station break here. Hey, let's do this. Let's give a shout out to our favorite librarian, Heather Biederman, who hosts another podcast, Liberty Librarian. You can find her at facebook.com/Liberty Librarian. And she talks about all kinds of cool, what's the word? Hold on, I've been drinking. Why have I been drinking? Why do I do that? She talks about a lot of really cool information, things about censorship and just sort of, there's a word I'm looking for that I cannot think of.
Well, I can't think of it.
Heather can probably answer my own question. So,
what's the word?
What's the word? I swear I knew it before the show started. I could have. Well, either way, it's about freedom. That's what it's about. So intellectual freedom news. That's what we're talking about. Intellectual freedom. So okay. I definitely wanted to give a shout out to Heather because she is one of our biggest fans and we are one of her biggest fans. And we are very glad Heather is here. And in the future, Heather, BT Dubs, we're going to contact you because we're going to talk to you about maybe being a guest on our show sometime in the future. So,
yeah, we're going to start having more, some things.
We're going to do some things.
Yeah,
some things. But we figure, I think libraries are a decent topic. I'm sure. Bill, not to get ahead of ourselves, but I'm sure you have some opinions on libraries.
Oh, yeah, but I like to call it the bibliothèque because it just sounds witty and urbane when you say that.
Fair enough. All right, we will discuss that in the future.
The bibliothèque, right?
Right. All right. So we've already talked about the history of memes, some of the history, well, the early history of memes, like the non-internet history of memes. And the fact that we like to communicate via memes. So let's start talking about actual memes. Okay. So
the newer ones.
The newer ones. And I figure I'll just throw this up because for me at least, as you know, I love to love things. So I just love memes. Memes are my favorite.
Okay. Oh, hey, so talking about internet memes, I want to say my earliest exposure, I actually, right out of college, I had a job. I was working an internet help desk. This was back in the days of dial-up. I was getting people on dial-up, and I was actually working for a company in South Carolina, but our biggest customer was in Michigan. Okay,
hey,
it was a dial-up company out of now I can't remember, but one of those towns right at the edge of, like, right between Detroit and where it gets rural, kind of.
Probably not far from where I grew up, then, because that's literally describing where I grew up. And you know what that is. You know where that is, right?
Anyhow,
you open the door.
I'm working for this company doing tech support for a Michigan company called the Internet Ramp, which was, just local dial-up for Michigan people. And I bet you 10, 15 times a day, somebody would call me up and they'd say, hey, I can't get my email. It says my inbox is jammed up or something, right?
Right.
And every goddamn time that somebody called and said that their inbox was jammed up and I went to go see what was up, it was because they had been sent a file called oogachaka.wave.
All right, so I do have a visual for this one.
Okay.
And I actually struggled with whether I wanted it because this thing creeps me out so much. But most people are familiar with it, not from the internet, the early days of the internet, but from Ally McBeal.
Yes, it appeared on Ally McBeal, and that was actually probably like 3 years after it was clogging up inboxes.
Right, I got to take that down. I can't look at it anymore.
Well, so it would, and it was called oogachaka.wave because it would play the beginning of "Hooked on a Feeling" by Blue Suede,
right?
While the baby did his little gyrations, and it was every damn day, and I was like, oh my god, this stupid thing. Because it was before people's inboxes were big enough to hold that file. Right. Nowadays, Google gives you 400 times that for free. You know what I mean? Like if Google got mad about the size of my inbox, I'd be off Google already because I don't ever delete all my spam or whatever, and I must get 400 emails a day.
Me either.
From various shopping sites and coupons or whatever the hell that I subscribe to, just in the event that I do want to buy something, I can go just type in that word and coupon, and there it is in my inbox.
Exactly. Exactly. I run a business using Google, and that's part of the reason, because I have everything indexed. Like all I need to do is search a thing, and I'm like, that's the conversation I had with you 3 years ago.
I'm guessing back in the day, the Internet Ramp out of Michigan probably gave people 512 kilobytes of space for their inbox.
You get 2 emails. That's as many emails as you can have in your inbox.
You can get an email, but if you attached a picture or a sound file to it, forget about it. Like, now you've done it, So, but that was going around the internet, that Ooga Chaka wave. Everybody was sending that to everybody. Like, oh, in case you haven't seen this baby dancing to Blue Suede yet, you need to see that shit, Here, I'm going to forward it to you.
Right.
No, my God. And sometimes I would just have to tell people, like, they were like, well, so what was it? And I'll say, listen, it can't be sent to you. You can't receive it. So I will describe it to you.
So you spent a good portion of this job describing people the dancing baby.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, God. First of all, that you can be paid to do that is kind of awesome. But also,
it was a pretty fun job. I mean, and you had like twice a day, you had the angry person who got, irate with you, but mostly people were pretty genial. It was mostly like boomers who didn't know how to get on the internet, and they were thankful for your expertise. And they, I don't know. And they like to shoot the shit with you too, because they're probably like shut-ins or something. So
it's funny you say boomers, like, because they were actually our age at the time you would have been working in the company.
Yeah, they would have been back then. Yeah, but they didn't grow up with technology, so they were like, their kids had told them, "Hey, Dad, get a computer," and they did, and then they were just constantly mad at it because it didn't do any. They didn't know how to work it.
Yes, no, which still happens, but. Like, we're in that interesting central, like, we weren't, unlike millennials, we weren't raised with it. We know how to use it like millennials, but we get mad at it like boomers.
Like a boomer, yes, exactly. I do the same thing. Like, I can sort it out eventually, but I'm going to yell about it for about 10 minutes before I do.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. So give me some other memes, and we'll see if I've got a corresponding slide.
So some of my favorite memes are probably the ones that are about 10 years old. That's when it really kind of started taking off, I want to say, right? And for a while, you had this. It was like a list of characters almost, and they were all in the same format. They had this like, I don't know how to describe it, like this.
You don't need to describe it because I can share it.
You got them.
I got them.
Yeah, that. That thing. Yeah. So you got here's 4 of the characters. You got Bad Luck Brian here. You got the Velociraptor.
Right?
You got this success kid, and you've got Doge, right?
Yes.
Those are 4 of the popular characters. You had other popular characters too. Some of my favorites were socially awkward penguin.
Yes.
There was Anger Wolf, I think. There was Scumbag Steve.
There was the Ermagerd girl.
Ermagerd Burks, yeah.
Yeah.
And like Doug, then there was Grumpy Cat. Everybody knows Grumpy Cat. The cats have always been part of the internet and the meme culture.
Cats, I don't think I have an actual demonstration of this, but cats kind of invented meme culture. Like it came from lolcats. And I'm surprised I didn't put one of those. I think I thought about it and then I forgot.
Yeah, I can have hamburger, right? Or I can have
cheeseburger.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the dog was
So here's an example of success.
Yeah. That's when something goes your way. And so here's what's great to me about it. This whole idea. So these have words on them most of the time. Then it gets to the point where you see it enough times that then you can see the meme without words and it expresses what the emotion of this meme is, right? You only have to see the visual at some point. And then you're like, yeah, exactly, right? Like that's the thing. But
and I have an example of that real quick that I would like to. I've got a mat. I put these together in one frame.
Very good.
But these are like React memes.
Yeah.
Like Will Smith doing this is like, seriously, are you an idiot?
Right.
And Pikachu, like completely offended by things like those. You don't even need words.
The Pikachu one actually, I think it's being shocked at something that is the predictable outcome of the thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like you do the thing and then the predictable outcome happens and then you're like, well, who can believe that this would be the
right? So, but to point out, so you mentioned the words, and I think it's interesting to point out because the early days of memes, like Post Dancing Baby and all of that, the earliest days of memes, everybody used the same font, and it was this font.
It's always Arial bold. It's
Impact. It's all Impact. Yes.
Okay. Impact. Yeah.
Which to the point where some communities, like the Crazy Ex-Girlfriend Blam posting that I'm in, you're not allowed to use Impact
on your memes.
You cannot use Impact on your memes.
Do you use Comic Sans? What do you do exactly?
I end up using, because I make mine on Canva, which I use professionally. So I just leave I leave my
Garamond.
Well, no, because I have my logo and all my branding already uploaded. So when I click, add caption, it's already my own brand logo. So I just automatically use that font. The same is true with any Bill Has Opinions stuff, is everything is in Antonio Bold for anyone who wants to make Bill Has Opinions stuff. But Antonio Bold, the reason I like it, the reason we started using it, or I created that, is because it looks kind of meme-ish, because it's bold, it's all capital letters.
Yeah, it's not quite Impact,
but it's close.
Right. Okay.
So it was very much on purpose.
We could have a whole episode, by the way, about design. And fonts also.
You absolutely can, and I know a guest for that show too.
Okay, very good.
Oh, people have commented. I've been over here with the slides, and I haven't even looked. Oh yes, cat memes are their own category. That's absolutely true. There's actually a song. It was from an old website that was "The Internet is Made of Cats." Google that because it's good fun, because it literally goes, the internet is made of cats, and
yeah. Well, do you remember what was it? There was some cat thing. Gosh darn! Now the thought blew out of my head. It was another. Oh, it was keyboard cat. You remember playing off?
Oh, keyboard cat.
Yeah,
Yes.
I used to love. Oh my god, I'd stay up till 2 a.m. watching keyboard cat videos and just laughing myself silly. You know, those aren't really exactly memes. Well, I guess it is kind of because it sort of like repeats itself. Like it's the same.
Yeah,
it's the same bit.
Non-genetically.
Yeah, because the bit was somebody would. Okay, so what would happen was it was actually videos, but they were kind of meme-ish because someone would do something stupid, and then they would wipe out. You know, like they'd be dancing on a coffee table, and the coffee table would fall out from under them, and then Keyboard Cat would pop up and start playing his little outro. And the deal was play him out, Keyboard Cat. You know, and he was basically like, okay, you're done. Good day. You know.
Right.
but then there were a couple of fun things that, you know, and oh, this is a thing. Where are we at in the show?
We got time. We got plenty of time.
Well, here's a thing I like about memes. So memes will have a shelf life almost, right? Like they'll start out, everybody will love this meme for a while. It'll run about 2 to 3 months usually, and then people kind of go, meh. You know, we're over that meme, and it goes away for a minute. It probably disappears for about 3 weeks. And then at some point, somebody will blend that meme with another meme.
Yes.
And then it breathes like new life into it. And then it's back around. And the juxtaposition of the two memes becomes its own thing that I laugh and laugh and laugh. So one of my favorite things on playing off Keyboard Cat was I sat up one night watching these Keyboard Cat videos over and over again. Like I said, it's basically, it was America's Funniest Home Videos. And after the guy gets hit in the balls, the cat plays the keyboard, you know?
Right.
And I was watching those. And at some point somebody put in a video and it was Hall & Oates doing You Make My Dreams Come True, but with Keyboard Cat like mixed in there. Like
nice.
he was a member of the band. And I was like, oh my God, like this is so fucking funny to me because like it was probably because, you know what, because it was something new. It wasn't the same format, but it still had the cat, you know, and it made me like really chuckle at it, you know. So anyway, that's
no, and I have an example of that one. So one that came out a long time ago, a long time in internet language, right? Is the dude that changed my mind, dude, right? And he's a real dude. I don't care who he is.
Yeah, he was some sort of right-wing prick, and I think he was on a college campus trying to like stir up some shit.
Yeah, and it was things like, you know, white privilege doesn't exist, changed my mind. It was stuff like that.
Yeah, but then people just took a picture and decided to run with it, and it became hilarious.
And it became a meme, and it is like because it's funny to me today because anytime someone makes a blanket statement like this, my brain immediately says, change my mind.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what you say. Like you can say, I like beer, and I'd be like, change my mind. Because it's so prevalent.
That's when you pass them an imperial lambic.
Exactly. So this one shows that juxtaposition, right? So at the inauguration, just earlier this year, Bernie became a meme. Bernie Sanders became a meme with his mittens, sitting in the chair. So somebody put this should be the template for the new meme. And that's exactly right. Like, that's how memes evolve. And to show you, like, everybody was doing it, including us.
Oh, my God. So I got some things to say about this, by the way. Because in spite of you using it for our advertising, Bernie sitting in a chair is one of the lowest common denominator bullshit memes of the last year. Okay,
I love it.
Oh my God! Here's the thing, because it doesn't do what I said a meme should do. It doesn't convey anything. It doesn't tell the story. It doesn't push the conversation along.
I disagree because
it's just Bernie sitting in a damn chair, and like people put him in different places. But like the visual is like, I know when I see the dude like looking away from his girlfriend at the other girl, that means there's a new thing in town that's better than the old thing. When I see shocked Pikachu, I know that it means, well, aren't these the consequences of my own actions? You know, like, you know, but when I see Bernie sitting in the chair, that's just an old dude sitting in, like, what is that? What is it conveying? So if you think it has a meaning, tell me what it is. Because to me, it was silly is all it was.
Well, it was silly, but it quickly became, like, for example, in that meme, it became the way to say we're evolving and things are changing. Like, then people started putting Bernie on like the Mars rover, and they put Bernie on Mars. Like, and the Ever Given, when that was stuck in the Suez Canal, they put Bernie on the Ever Given. So, like, I think it was a moment where we all connected. Many of us connected, especially after a long, hard year. And many of us connected with this kind, sweet old man. And we just wanted to have his energy.
Let me separate my hatred for the Bernie meme with how I feel about Bernie Sanders, because I actually like Bernie Sanders and I voted for him in the primary and would vote for him in an election. Okay, there are Bernie memes I do like. For instance, I'm once again asking you for
yes,
whatever. That's funny to me because
this was an extension of that, though.
That does the thing that I'm trying to say. Like I'm once again asking you for something. So I see Bernie standing out there like this, and I go, "Oh, he's this person's asking for something." That's what it's yes, his arms wide, right?
Exactly. So to your point of a meme that you know what it means, right? So this one is very, very, very popular. It is so popular, in fact, that before you sent me this version, I already made this version because
right.
But, I mean, everybody knows what that is.
You know what? And to its credit, this one's been around for about 3 years, and people haven't gotten tired of it yet. Unlike, like I said, some of them play out. Like they have like a shelf life of about 3 months or so, and then people are like, "Yeah, okay," and they move on.
Well, and here's another one that it has a similar shelf life, right? Mm-hmm. The original post, the original tweet was this, and then it became a meme.
Yes.
Which it became. Hold on, so then it got crossed over, right? So you got the Star Wars memes with Yoda. They're fun. And, sometimes you just have to make a new one. And so we do that. And you know what this is? Do I have to tell you what this is? Because I'll explain it in a second. This is... Because apparently in Minnesota, they say duck, duck, gray duck for no apparent reason.
You don't have geese in Minnesota?
I don't know. You have to ask our Minnesotans.
They don't know that they're called geese. That those large things.
They're just gray ducks.
Those large things that are twice the size of a duck. Those are actually geese.
Hey, guess what? No, this was I went camping in Minnesota with a bunch of people from Minnesota, including several of our closest friends. Yeah. And like they posed the question to me, like, this is normal. Is it duck, duck, goose or duck, duck, gray duck? And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about?
You can't just make shit up and ask me if that's a thing.
So literally, apparently duck, duck, gray duck literally only exists. And not even in all of Minnesota, like it's a portion of Minnesota.
I see. It's a very, very close, very.
So even our Minnesotan friend
is like, no, it's Duck Duck Goose.
It's Duck Duck Goose.
She's also a librarian and is aware that there are things called geese, unlike apparently.
Oh yeah, she's very learned.
Yes.
As it turns out, Heather is very smart.
Yes, wackadoo over duck, duck, gray duck.
So
is this the hill they're going to die on?
I think it is for a lot of people, and that's not even just like I put out the broad. It's from the Midwest thing, but that's very specific. Like it's not even.
It's just like
there are some things that are cross culturally Midwestern. That is not one of them.
Okay. It's from the Midwest, but it's from a specific part of the Midwest.
Very much from a specific part of the Midwest.
Okay.
So you said, I think you actually just sent me this one because you thought it was funny. And
yes.
But I wanted to use it to illustrate. So one of the things that memes do is people create art from memes. So, right, this big ship was stuck in the Suez Canal and we were all riveted for like a week about it.
Right.
And now art has been created about it, right?
Well,
so
So this panel cartoon has actually been used over and over again. Also, it's like a meme now too. I don't know what the original one was. I've seen one that made me cry. That was about a dog. I think Death was coming to get a dog, and the dog says, "Was I a good boy?" And he says, "Oh,
yes, that would make me cry."
I'm getting choked up just talking about it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, then I've seen some other ones. I actually saw this also. God, I saw it for another meme recently. Maybe it was the Bernie Sanders meme, but it was like, it's time to go. And he says, "Was that a good meme?" And he says, "No." I don't think it was Bernie. It was some other meme in the last 2 months though that was an awful meme, and it was great that it went away because it was that forgettable. Like, it wasn't funny. It was just, and like I said, it didn't push the conversation. It was just like, something happened, something topical happened, and people just kept putting it in things, and it was like, this shit, like.
Well, and I'm fine with that because there will be, there are some things that are just a moment in time. They're the way we express that moment in time. And I think the Ever Given is one of those things because we all watched, there were all the memes of the backhoe trying to dig out this giant ship. Like, that was funny. But I like this, cartoon version of it. But I also like this poem. This poem, it's not related to the cartoon I have there, but this poem is literally art. The "My name is Boat, and when I'm tired, but shipping work is still required, then all I want is little snooze. I turn to side, I block the Sues." Like, that is legit art right there. Like, that person should get a Pulitzer. I don't care. They should get something because that is art.
I will say this. I sometimes, so I one of the things I like about memes too is it's one of the things I bond with my son over, right? Like, we both enjoy memes, and sometimes at the end of a hard week, like there'll be a meme like the Suez Canal boat that'll take off, and that'll be the meme of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes when we're discussing things, I'll be like, "Oh, so the meme of the week was good this week," like. Some weeks I'm like, "Oh God, the meme of the week this week was ass," But some weeks I'm like, "Yeah, that was a good meme this week." I had.
See, that's the fun part. Even the Bernie meme has you talking. Like, you're like, this meme is dumb, but we're talking about it.
I guess so.
Right? So hold on, let me pour my beer because I got more.
Okay.
I strongly poured that. So I want to point out this one, and it's going to be hard to see because it's tiny, but
yes, condescending Gene Wilder.
Yeah, well, I mean, one loves Gene Wilder, but specifically Gene Wilder as so obviously, especially Gen X, like, we grew up with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and then a few years ago, I assume Gen Xer decided to make these, and it's literally just this reaction, "Oh, so you did this? Well, also this." And I think it's like you said, it's a brilliant way to advance the conversation.
Yeah. I've been known to just post the picture of just Willy Wonka with that, like after somebody, because it's usually somebody's bragging about something that's kind of meh, honestly, usually is or it's clear that they're bragging like, "I'm a this" or whatever, and they don't, and they seem also clueless about whatever it is they're trying to be an expert about.
Right.
So,
exactly.
So you can just post the picture at that point, and it says all you really need to say. And that's what I love is when they get to the point where it transcends the words. I just like using them as a visual to say, "Here's my reaction to that nonsense." It's almost like a condescending blow off when you can just use the picture.
It's true. That's true, and that is absolutely true.
I'm just Kermit over here drinking my tea.
Exactly. So funny you mentioned Kermit. I do not happen to have the Kermit drinking a tea, but you say that just like, just like the Star Trek episode, right? You said Kermit drinking the tea, and people are like, "Oh yes, Kermit drinking the tea." But I made this one specifically for the show because Kermit is very much a meme. So in this case, if anybody's listening but not watching, because the evil Kermit, right? That's a whole trend. Like, one of my favorites was an evil Kermit versus not evil Kermit, and it was, me in social situations. Don't act weird. Don't act weird. Don't act weird. Also me. Here's some random facts about hairless cats, which is literally me. Like, if I'm awkward, I'm like, let me tell you about hairless cats. Hairless cats are great. So yes, I had to do a Bill has opinions specific. I have strong opinions about that, and also, I don't really care, whatever, because it is the dichotomy of Bill.
I do pull that out once in a while. You'll ask me about certain things, and I'll go, I don't.
Yeah, how do you not have an opinion on that? You have an opinion on literally everything.
No, I have an opinion on important things. Things that are not important, I don't have an opinion about.
Things that are important to you. What if they're important to somebody else? Like,
well, then they should have an opinion about it.
They probably do. I just want to know your opinion on it. Okay. Another popular one. So this one's interesting to me because this has transcended its own popular culture. Like, so Futurama was a reasonably popular show. Lots of people know it, but not everybody has watched it. But you know this meme.
Yes.
Fry. And there's another one too. You know the Fry meme, whether you've seen the show or not.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's when you're suspicious about something. That's
And there's another Fry meme where he's, handing money, and it's like,
go ahead and take my money.
Yeah. Which that's a reasonable response to things.
Oh yeah, that's when someone shows you something that you didn't know you needed until you saw it, and then you're like, go ahead and take my money. Yes.
Yes. And there's an interesting. I don't have any examples of this, but an interesting evolution of meme culture, I think, is GIF or GIF culture, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
There's a right way and a wrong way.
There is, and I'm not about to. I don't want to debate that right now. That's a whole other show. But when you have, or I will say, there's a way that the guy who invented it tells you to pronounce it, and there's a way that's right. That's all I'm saying. Right. So, because it's not a GIF. It's not a. Don't even get me. It's GIF not. You don't call it a graphics. It's the first word stands for graphics. You don't pronounce that with a soft G. It's not giraffics.
Giraffics is a whole other thing. That's just pictures of giraffes.
It's all bullshit. So that right there, here, let me, I think that constitutes. So, but I think because memes have evolved. Like, I have hundreds of memes on my phone.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Just in case I need to use them in a conversation.
No, yeah. I keep them saved. It's for exactly that reason. And then I just flip back through. There it is. Okay.
Right. But then I think one step forward in that communication is GIFs or GIFs or however you want to pronounce it, is because that's, especially on social media, that's quick and easy. Somebody says something, and all you have to do is pull open the library and type in the idea of what you want to present, and then you just click on an appropriate GIF. Yeah,
it's down there usually. I like to use the black guy going,
I like this guy. He's Cord Overstreet from Glee. Like, nobody even knows that's Cord Overstreet. It is probably his most significant role in history, and most people think it's one of the Hemsworths, but it's not.
It does look like one of the Hemsworths. I always thought it was. I thought it was a younger Chris Hemsworth from like years ago or something before he got built. Yes,
exactly. But no, it's Cord Overstreet from Glee. So it's literally his biggest role is in this GIF that people are like this, and I use that all the time because it's a verbal communication. Oh, we got lots of comments that I wasn't paying attention to.
I'm flipping through my phone to see what I had in my library here for quick use, and actually,
I agree with you, Heather.
This one was one of them, apparently.
Yes, because it is. It is. And Heather, I agree with you for the same reason I'm sure you're saying that. The person who invented that file form calls it a GIF, but that person is stupid. Because it's not a graphic. So I could go on and on and on about that, but I won't. I'll stop. All right. What else? Do I have any more that I have not yet shown? Oh, yes. The Baby Yoda meme. So this is a moment where pop culture became a meme. And so Baby Yoda, of course, from The Mandalorian, He now has a name, but he didn't. Like, he just became so culturally specific that literally every meme you can think of has Baby Yoda in it.
Yeah. And you know, like Bernie sitting in a chair, I hate this one also. Because again, it doesn't convey. It's just cute is all it is. Like, that's all it is just, oh, isn't that cute? And half the time he just says something dumb like chocolate milk and chicken nuggets or some shit like that. And it's like,
yeah, no, I live for chicken nuggets, man.
I'm like, no, I don't. This doesn't do anything. This doesn't work for the conversation. This is not what the meme's supposed to do. This is like, we should have, like, we put it in another box. We have memes and we have cute pictures. You know. And you can put the Baby Yoda and the minions from
I hate minions. I hate them with a passion I cannot communicate. Hate minions.
Well, anyway, you can put all that in a different box because they're not really memes to me. They don't convey a thing. They're just, isn't that a cute picture? What?
Yeah, but some of them do. Like, they convey a thing. It might not be the thing that is, you know, super culturally relevant, but I think over time, I think there will be some Baby Yoda memes, like the Kermit memes and like some other memes that will stand the, and like Bernie memes. I think there will be a couple here and there that will stand the test of time.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give you Fry his eyes narrowed for that one. Because I'm dubious.
Well, you know, the only way to know that is to to see it play out. There's no other way to know that.
It could happen. Like, I know what you're saying, that the Kermit one, yeah, I don't know how it started exactly, but you know, then those eventually took where they became a symbol for a thing. You know, like Kermit drinking the tea is you know, if you're throwing shade on somebody for doing something dumb, or you know, like the other one is the two sides of your personality arguing with each other.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I will die on the Baby Yoda hill. Like,
all right, well,
I will die on it because it is. He became, I think, if you're looking at the original definition of meme, something that is passed non-genetically as a means of communication, it definitely became that. Like, people were like, Baby Yoda is the shit, and all of a sudden it was just saturated with Baby Yoda memes. So, and I think there'll be a handful that show up forever.
I don't think his character hasn't taken on a metaphor for something else. Like, I don't know what he's trying to convey yet. And until he conveys a specific emotion, I say he's not a good meme, okay? At the point when he diverts and starts to mean a thing, I might change my opinion, okay?
I think that's coming. I think that's part of the evolution of language. So we are running out of time, but I do want to mention this whole evolution of language because so the idea that, like the Star Trek episode, like we're starting to communicate in metaphor is both an evolution and a de-evolution of our communication structure, right? So like it is a step up because we are now like we're thinking of things metaphorically. But it's also a step down because we've taken those metaphors and turned them into pictograms. So now we're communicating via cave paintings and hieroglyphs. So it is also a de-evolution.
Well, I mean, but that's to discount the entire history of art almost. I mean, we've always told stories visually. So it's not like that's the thing that stopped and then we went back to doing it, you know?
Right. We're just doing it differently now. And with the internet, it's just pushed out so fast.
Yeah.
Whereas it wasn't before. Kilroy Was Here was just something we spontaneously all knew. Like, and nobody knows where it started.
And I will say Kilroy is there with Baby Yoda and the minions and Bernie sitting in a chair. Like, that doesn't mean jack shit to me. Like, what is that? I guess it meant something back in the day, actually. I feel like it did mean something once. It's just we've outgrown it.
Well, and it was just a means of communication that was not genetically passed on. It was a means of communication that was cultural. So, and that's what memes are. So whether the meme has meaning or doesn't kind of doesn't matter in the definition of meme. Like, we've given meme this definition of that it needs to convey a message, but that's not what a meme is. A meme is just something that's passed on culturally.
I got you
Baby
there.
Yoda and Bernie Sanders 100% do.
I'm specializing in what's good and what's bad about them. They're good to me when they can be used as a means to say this other thing.
But which is why you have opinions. All right, we are running out of time, but you did send me one other meme. You sent me one earlier that I was like, literally, I the name of this file is whatever the fuck this is, because you sent it to me and I have no idea what it is.
So this is
no clue.
This is Dat Boy, and it came from I want to say it's about 10 years old. It's a frog on a unicycle, and the meme. Okay, this one's actually this is almost like negating what I've been saying because this doesn't do the conversation at all. It's just a silly, stupid thing that pops up on the internet or used to. This one's actually one that lived its life and then it died, and I've only seen it come back once or twice for maybe a week at a time because someone finally juxtaposed it into another meme. But right. I think because it doesn't do the thing I'm saying, it's hard for it to stick around because it only exists as this dumb picture. I don't know. Like the only thing it could possibly do is it's a way to like break up a conversation. Really, like it's like this shit got too deep. Okay, here's Dat Boy. You know what I'm like
right.
Here comes a frog on a unicycle to break it up.
So imagine a world where somebody took Baby Yoda or Bernie and put him on the unicycle. Would that change your opinion about Baby Yoda or Bernie?
It might, because I will tell you this: as much as I hated the Bernie Sanders in a chair meme, I did see the one where the two guys from Orange County Choppers are yelling at each other and the fights.
Yes,
I saw one where they were arguing where the old man's like, Bernie Sanders meme is dumb and it doesn't do anything. And kid's like, it's funny. And he's like, it's not funny. It doesn't do anything. It's a stupid meme. And then at the end, the kid goes to throw the chair at him, and the chair is actually Bernie Sanders in the chair. And then he goes, and then in the last panel, he goes, okay, that one was funny.
Exactly.
I agreed because they juxtaposed it into another meme format. I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. That's actually funny. But in its normal format, if it's just Bernie Sanders sitting in front of something, I don't give a shit where he's sitting. If he's sitting in the Suez Canal, if he's sitting on Mars, if he's sitting in front of the Eiffel Tower, I don't care. It's just like whatever. Bernie sits in front of something. Yeah.
So sometimes though, you just have to have someone else pimping your show. Like sometimes,
yeah,
it's necessary.
I wasn't mad at you for using it as a.
Oh no, hell no! I was gonna get on that bandwagon. Like 100% get on the bandwagon.
To me, it's not a very funny meme, and it doesn't push a conversation. So I don't like.
Here's the thing: I am all about the bandwagon, which is ultimately the meaning of a meme because it's a culturally shared experience. So, all right. So I think we've beaten that horse. We probably could have another meme episode in the future. We could probably have various meme episodes where you talk about the evolution of just one meme at any time. But we are almost out of time, and I do not have a mailbag this week. So I think we should use the remaining time, of which we will go over. But because we have a very important things that are extra this week, because there was some culturally relevant information that came out in the last week. So we're going to talk a little bit about Lil Nas X and the new Satanic Panic.
Yeah. So what was this? This is early last week, I guess, when this blew up. I saw a bunch of people talking about Lil Nas X, and I was like, oh, what do you do now? And then I heard some people say something about a video, so I finally went and looked it up. You know, he's got this new video. Was it called Montero?
Call Me by Your Name.
Call Me by Your Name. That's right. And so and I've since then have watched the video several times. And so if you haven't seen this video, it starts out, Lil Nas X is basically, I guess he's Eve in the garden or something.
Yes. Tempted by the snake.
Tempted by the snake. And the snake is also Lil Nas X. And then the flowers are Lil Nas X and everything's Lil Nas X. And it gets a little homoerotic, but not terribly. Like not.
Oh, purposefully so, because he's trying to make a statement as a queer man.
Yeah.
To say, this is not scary. This is a natural form of sexuality.
Right, right. I'm just saying it wasn't like in a way that like, would be off-putting to someone who's, well, it shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know how people who are hyper masculine to the point of, well, here's the thing. If it bothers you, it's probably because you're a little bit homosexual is what I will say. And it's your own feelings that
you find it creepy. You're like, I do not know how to deal with this.
Right.
Wait, so the Kinsey scale, right? It's that nobody is a clear one side or the other. There's a scale. There's a spectrum of sexuality.
Sure. But I'm saying like, I don't know. It's just been my experience that the biggest homophobes I've ever known, I've always kind of felt like they don't protest too much, if you know what I'm saying. Like they always seem like they're weirded out, but at the same time somewhat intrigued.
Yes, I think that's fair, right?
So there's that, like, and so I'm going to say anybody who really objected to that scene 1, that was their problem. Then
I thought scene 2 was even more suggestive.
Scene 2 being that he's in a gladiator film.
No, so he is in the Garden of Eden. And then he slides down the pole.
No, but that's scene 3. He goes. Then the next scene, he's a gladiator or something. He's in chains and he's being drugged into some coliseum and he's being judged.
Yes.
And then he slides down the stripper pole into hell, and then he lap dances on Satan for the rest of the video.
Which is super sexy. I don't care who you are.
I was surprised at how limber he was. Where I was with that part. I was like, wow, who knew a man could move like that? It was a very sexy gyrating lap dance on Satan, who's also him, I believe.
Right? Yes, I think every character is Little Nas X in the entire.
And then at the end, he breaks Satan's horns off and puts them on him. He's the new Satan. So anyway, I guess some people had a reaction to this or something.
Some people did. So
they had a kind of a feeling.
Yeah, it spurred an all-new satanic panic. And this one, interestingly enough, not just satanic, but also like gay. So people were really upset that, oh my God, there's a satanic panic. And also it's going to turn my children gay. So first of all, Little Nas X has been out his entire career. So even y'all people listening to Old Town Road, like you should have known that.
He came out the week after Old Town Road broke big, actually.
Fair, but yeah, I mean, it was very much.
Well, he's been out for a couple years now because that's an older song. And honest to God, okay, to your credit, anybody who watched the Old Town Road video and didn't know that Lil Nas X was gay, that's really on you, okay?
100%.
Because it's kind of gay too, honestly. But anyway, yeah, it's one of those things where I was like, okay, I don't see the outrage, but then again, maybe I'm not the right person to judge this sort of thing. I that's not the kind of shit that I get outraged by. It's just funny, I guess, because the same people who, a week or two ago were crying because of Mr. Potato Head or racist Dr. Seuss cartoons, like they're like, oh, why are you going to cancel my culture now? Then they're like, oh my God, we need to get this Lil Nas X off the TV.
Right.
Okay, so I'm like, all right, you snowflakes.
So why are you canceling his culture?
Right? Yeah, because that's just it's funny because like all you got to do is wait 3 minutes and they'll find something to get snowflakey about. And then you can be like, haha, well, I thought you were a big fan of, intellectual freedom. And now you're not all of a sudden.
So, yeah. Right. And I would like to point out that the symbolism in the Montero video is not subtle. It starts out with, I'm being tempted, then I'm condemned for the sins that you said I have, and now I'm going to hell. And fuckers see what I do with that. Like,
now I own hell. That's the breaking the horns off of Satan and taking them. That's the dot at the end of the sentence. Really, that's when he's saying, "I own this shit." but I've since read his artistic statement about the whole thing too. He says this is like a letter to a 14-year-old him when he wasn't out.
Yes, I read that too. Yeah.
This is him saying, go out and do what you want, because these fuckers are going to condemn you anyway, right? Like, so live your life, be fucking happy, own it. And if they say you're going to hell, you know what? Go to hell in style. Go lap dance on the devil and and steal the horn.
So instead, I applaud Lil Nas X.
No, I love it.
It's the same stuff that Madonna was condemned for in the 80s and 90s. Like,
yeah, there's nothing new under the sun, honestly. These folks will find something to be periodically. I mean, I was telling Laura before the show, I felt like we had a good 10-year run where nobody was really offended at any music for a while.
Music.
Yeah, music that I recall. But it happens, it happened pretty steady most of my childhood. It was always something. And I hadn't really heard about it for a while. And then all of a sudden this year it's been like, WAP and now Lil Nas X. And so there's just always something that people, oh my God. And I think there's a certain amount of subtle racism mixed into it too, because yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit.
They're getting bent out of shape about is our black folks, doing a thing, and or minorities, they're black, but they're gay or they're female or whatever.
Right. Yeah, because you look at the two examples. Yeah, you're talking about. Yeah, the two examples you're talking about are is a black woman and a queer black man. So. Yeah, you think?
It seems like it might be a tad bit racist, even because I saw a funny meme. Back to memes, I saw a funny meme today where it was the Drake meme, and the one where he's like, no, I don't like that, and it was like Lil Nas X's "Call Me by Your Name" video, and he's like, no, and then it says AC/DC Highway to Hell, and he's like. Which just goes to show you, that's the same. Well, what's the difference? The same statement. I'm going to hell and I'm happy about it. But because it was sang because it was sang 40 years ago by white Australians, or whatever, Scott Australians, then you think, okay, that's acceptable. That's fine. That's just good time going to hell, but not just.
None of this white people going to hell.
That's right. It's not the same thing as this black queer going to hell stuff, though. That's
that's too much. Think of the children.
Right.
So, all right. I think we're good. So next week we will be back with a new episode. I believe it's on taxes, and we may be live in the same place. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
But
we're filling out our 1040s.
Exactly. Exactly. We will be physically, this will be fun. We'll just be doing our taxes on the show. That'll be good stuff. We'll be on Turbo. We'll have a screen share of TurboTax.
Yeah. I'll have some questions. I hope some of you out there know something about accounting.
Yeah, we should get an accountant guest of the show. Unfortunately, my father will no longer be the accountant guest, but maybe beyond the grave, my father will come and tell us some things. That's for next week. Yeah, taxes for beyond. That's its own thing. All right, so we are done for today. But Bill, will you take us away?
As soon as I unlock, okay. Bill has opinions is engineered and produced by Laura Lavoie. The opinions expressed by Bill are not necessarily those of Laura unless she shakes her head in agreement, and those of Laura are not necessarily those of Bill, and neither one of them necessarily express the opinions of our advertisers, if you will, who are not paying us at this point to be on the show. And let's see, be sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, and be sure to tune in again next week at the same time for another exciting episode.
All right, we'll see you all next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.